Tonight on News 5 Live, police are seeking 2 suspects in the Tuesday morning murder of Albert Valentine. The Special Patrol Unit and the GI3 ramp up their presence in Lake Independence, where an internal gang feud threatened more bloodshed. What will the Briseno administration do about the pending increase in the cost of bread? And in tonight's episode of the 5-Point Breakdown, we look at the role of Crime Stoppers amid an increase in missing persons report and unsolved homicides. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
What is that sound?
It's the enchanting melody of smart sleigh bells announcing the arrival of Saturday sales. Imagine this. Every Saturday in December, the magic unfolds at smart showrooms countrywide from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Here's the scoop. The first 20 customers get even bigger discounts like phones for as low as $50. Selected postpaid plans get a Samsung device for as low as $99. Plus 50% off for 3 months. Make the switch and unwrap a free SIM bundle with SMS, minutes, and data. And if that's not sweet enough, every credit recharge of $50 and up automatically get tripled up. That's triple the joy. Other promotions also available every Saturday. Don't miss out on the festive fun. Be a part of the celebration every Saturday leading up to Christmas. Smart, bringing people together.
Let's take a journey through the core functions of the Social Security Board. It all starts with registering as an insured person, employer, or self-employed individual. Sign up for a portal account to manage your Social Security information online. Just provide accurate information and click Create. This will give you access to a range of services and benefits. Next, your contribution, along with investments and other income, are collected and distributed into 3 funds. This ensures that the SSB fund is securely utilized to support various benefit programs. The SSB is committed to providing essential benefits such as sickness, maternity, injury, and pension. These benefits are paid out to eligible individuals as a part of the Social Security coverage. We help you navigate through life's challenges with financial security. Annual surplus accumulates to grow the fund each year. This surplus is invested into various industries, contributing to the growth and development of our nation. With each passing year, the fund continues to grow due to the annual surplus and interest revenue earned from prudent investments. This surplus, along with reserves, helps to bolster the SSB fund and provide a safety net for those in need. We've arrived at the end of our journey to better understanding how the SSB works. We remain committed to serving you and building a secure future for all Belizeans.
Golden Bay is the place to be this Christmas season. Shopping for the whole family is an amazing experience when you do it at the right store. You can get Christmas ornaments and trees, small kitchen appliances, home fixtures, rechargeable toys, kitchen and bathroom supplies, baby supplies, food items, and much more. We're open on Monday to Saturday at 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and on Sundays, you can enjoy a whopping 10% off everything from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Shop in stores or contact us at 223-1339 or WhatsApp us at 635-1624. Shop today for more only at Golden Bay.
Are you dreaming of the ultimate home makeover? Introducing Design Depot's 25 $25,000 Home Makeover 2024. It could be your home getting a complete transformation. Increase your chances of winning with every purchase made from now until January 31st, 2024. All while enjoying awesome deals happening store-wide. A complete transformation awaits you. Reimagined and redesigned using products from our top-of-the-line brands including Kohler, GE, Oran Windows and Doors, Sherwin-Williams Paint, and tiles from around the world. Don't just dream it, win it. Visit Design Depot today and enter to win the $25,000 Home Makeover 2024. Design Depot, all in one place.
Season's greetings to our cherished Channel 5 family.
As the festive lights twinkle,
and we gather around the mistletoe,
we reflect on a year of storytelling
that has both challenged and inspired us.
We've launched groundbreaking series
that captivated viewers across the country
and beyond.
We've won prestigious awards
for journalistic and production excellence.
We expanded our community outreach,
Touching lives
beyond the screen.
Your loyalty
Fuels our passion
for innovation
and drives us to new heights.
Thank you for making our achievements possible
as we look forward to creating more memorable moments with you in the coming year.
This newscast is brought to you by the Belize Bank Limited. Our country, your bank.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Wednesday, December 13th. I am Sabrina Daly. On Tuesday morning here in Belize City, a deadly shooting claimed the life of 29-year-old Albert Valentine. The victim was no stranger to the law and has a record of involvement in gang activity. Tonight, police are looking for two suspects whom they believe perpetrated the violent act on Valentine as he left from a shop on Antelope Street Extension. It is reported that when he arrived at the corners of Elson Kerr and Iguana Streets, he was accosted by a pair of men, one of whom produced a handgun and opened fire on Valentine. Belize City Police are beefing up their presence in the area to prevent any reprisal for the Valentine's murder. This afternoon, Commissioner of Police Chester Williams shared a few details from the ongoing investigation.
Yesterday morning around 7:30 a.m. police were called to the area of corner Elston Kerr and Antelope Street. Upon arrival, they saw the lifeless body of a male person who was identified as Albert Valentine. He was transported to the KHMH where he was pronounced dead on arrival. At this time, police information is revealing that two male persons on bicycle approached the deceased and fired shots at him, causing his fatal injury. We are looking at two suspects at this time. We're hoping that we'll be able to locate those persons and bring some closure to this matter.
Is this related to the shooting he survived in Punta Gorda some years ago?
Well, you know, Albert Valentine has been somewhat of a freelance in the gang world. He was originally an affiliate of Rocky Road, and then he went to SSG, then he went to Boneyard, then he went to this one and that one. And so he has been more of a freelance. And when you have a person who is a freelance in the gang world, that certainly is a recipe for disaster. So we believe that is what led to his murder. Like I said, we have two suspects we're looking at, and we're also monitoring the extension area to be able to avoid any possible retaliation.
82-year-old William Watson was butchered inside his home near the corners of Zerikoti and Bannock Streets on December 5th, before the upper flat of the two-story residence was set on fire. It's a heinous crime, one that the police and fire departments missed when they were investigating the incident last week. It has since been determined that Watson, a devout churchgoer, was stabbed as many as 11 times in the neck before his property was torched. Investigators are now treating the case as that of a murder, but are unable to gather any leads that would bring them closer to an arrest.
Police would have to interview a number of persons. It is extremely tough because that one left us for the simple fact that at the initial stage, the information was that he died from the fire, maybe smoke inhalation or something of that sort. But having done the post-mortem examination, it revealed that he died from multiple stab wounds, which means that he was stabbed, and then after he was stabbed and murdered, then the house was set on fire. We know that some person lived downstairs. We're not sure if those persons were at home at the particular time, and we also know that he do have children, but they may live in the States. The investigators have been probing. They have been looking at surveillance footages in the area to see if we can come up with something to assist the investigation. But at this time, we have not been able to make any significant progress. But we're not going to give up on it, and I would appeal to the public. If they have any information that they believe can lead to the arrest of those persons concerned, to please feel free to visit us or call the 0800-922-TIPS number and provide information.
In an internal feud within the BLC gang in Lake Independence resulted in a residence coming under gunfire on Tuesday night. We understand that as many as 6 children were inside their home on M&M Street when a pair of men approached the property and let loose a hail of bullets at the structure. Luckily, no one was injured in the attack. Police nonetheless are working to diffuse tension within the gang that has seen an escalation of violence, including the murders of Jordan Burns a few weeks ago. Here's more from Commissioner of Police.
Last night around 9:30 p.m. thereabout, police responded to information of shots fired in the area of M&M Street in the St. Martin's de Porres area. Upon arrival, police observed a building with multiple bullet holes. Information suggests that a group of young men, basically, went into the area and fired shots at the house. The intended target was there, along with a number of children, but thankfully none of them were injured during the incident. I was in the area this morning, and I took with me the SPU and the GI3, and I have given them specific instructions in terms of what I want to see get done in the area to be able to alleviate these frequent incidents of shooting. You will recall that about 2 to 3 weeks ago there was a shooting in that same general area, and then about a week prior there was another shooting, and then we had a week prior the murder of the guy Jordan Burns. So obviously there is intense rivalry between the two fractions of BLC. As you know, they have been split into 2, and so the rivalry between them continues. But I want to assure the residents of the Martins area, and in particular those in the Police Street and Holy Emmanuel area, that the police will be doing what we must do to keep the area safe.
According to Compal Williams, the men who are actively involved in the infighting have been removed from the Leadership Intervention Unit's program. He also says that the police department is keeping a close eye on developments in that neighborhood.
We're monitoring very closely. We're trying to apply other measures at this time, and if we see that what we're doing fails, then we go to the most drastic measure, which you all know what that means.
What is the Leadership Intervention Unit doing in respect of this issue?
Well, the Leadership Intervention Unit has done a number of interventions with the 2 rivaling groups. I myself partook in one of those interventions, and both parties had promised that they are going to put aside their personal differences and try to coexist in the same area. But seemingly the interventions are not working. They come to the sessions and made promises, and when they leave, the promises are broken. So that means that we are no longer going to speak with them in terms of trying to get them to cooperate. I can tell you that they have been suspended from the LIU program because some of them were members of LIU, and those persons concerned have been suspended from LIU program at this time until we can get a grip of the situation.
As it stands, the number of homicides accounted for so far in 2023 is 80. It's a figure that is well below the murder count in previous years and will go down as a record achievement for the Belize Police Department. Nonetheless, the men and women in uniform aren't taking a victory lap just yet. There are still 2 more weeks to go before we ring in a new year, and the department is busy trying to keep that number at a minimum. It's something that the Commissioner of Police monitors closely.
I do take a serious look of the murder count, and I always try my best to preserve life. Whenever we have any murder or shootings in the city, I always find myself in Belize City on the grounds trying to see what I can do along with my team to mitigate any possible retaliation. And I think that we have been doing well, along with LIU, the intervention team, as well as the program that LIU is pushing. It is something that we take very seriously, including our minister. He likewise have a hands-on approach when it comes to the murder count. We strive to see what we can do to reduce these numbers. And yes, this year is a record-breaking year for us so far. We are making great strides, but we certainly are not yet where we want to be. Like you rightly said, every murder is a bad one because there are people who are left orphaned, children. We have wives who are left widowed. People are grieving. So saving lives to us is the number one priority, and we're going to do our best for the rest of the year to make sure that we keep the numbers well below the figures we have seen over the past 13 years. I think we can achieve it. Even when you look at the per capita, I think for the first time in more than 15 years, we can have a per capita of less than 20 per year. So I think that it is going to be historic, but we're not going to celebrate yet. There's still a lot that we need to do before we close this year. And even when the year is closed, we still won't celebrate because we have another year we have to look forward to.
The Customs and Excise Department is investigating what is being reported as a stolen vehicle that was imported from Mexico a few years ago. The vehicle, a 2017 Seat Ibiza, was pulled over in Corozal earlier this week, and behind the wheel was a pair of siblings. Both of them are police officers. The vehicle is the property of their mother, who reportedly purchased it in 2018, unbeknownst to her that it may have been stolen. That's according to Compal Williams, who offered an explanation regarding the incident.
We have, over the past few years, confiscated a number of stolen vehicles. And I mean vehicles that have been stolen abroad. I guess you have heard Ronnie Rosado about a year ago ranting about stolen vehicles being taken away from him. Honestly, have you ever, in the history of the confiscation of stolen vehicles, saw that anybody has been arrested for them? Be honest. There, never, ever, ever have we ever arrested anybody for vehicles that have been stolen abroad. What we normally do is that it is a matter for customs. Customs
have no customs entry though.
Let me get to that, right? It's a matter for customs. If customs believe that they were the importer of the vehicle and they evaded custom duties, then customs have a formula that they would apply to be able to recover the duty and punish the person or persons. But in this particular instance, while the 2 police officers were found in the vehicle does not belong to them. The vehicle belonged to their mother. Their mother bought the vehicle in 2018 from a person in Corozal town. The vehicle was licensed and insured. Custom confirmed that when a vehicle was licensed and insured, it was done with fraudulent documents, not by the mother in whose name the vehicle is in now, but by the person from whom she bought the vehicle. So if your mother have a vehicle that she bought from someone, believing that the vehicle was legitimately bought or brought into the country, here you are driving your mother's vehicle, you're stopped by customs and police, they learn the vehicle is stolen. You think it is going to be fair for them to hold you accountable for it? No.
Coming up, GDP up by 3% between July and September 2023. We'll have more details when we come back.
Bye. Boy, long time to try call you.
Meet Alex.
Where they go on, man?
Alex signed up for a DigiOne Premium Bundle. He's loving it. With his free mobile plan, Alex can talk and surf on the go as much as he wants. Topping up and buying data is a thing of the past. Alex now has DigiTV. He enjoys all his games and his favorite shows, no matter if he's on the go or at home. And Alex also enjoys the fastest, most reliable home internet speeds with his DigiNet service. He is living his best life. Alex bundled. Alex is saving $70 monthly compared to purchasing these services from the other providers. Be like Alex. Sign up for your DigiOne bundle package today. DigiOne. One bundle, no hassle, exceptional value.
Danny, buy me one Carol Consomme.
Carol Consomme. Carol, Mr. Sam, give me a...
You want egg? Oh, you want consomme? Carol Consomme.
Carol Consomme. The best taste and the best price. Less fat, more flavor. Carol Consomme. Available in packets for only 20 cents and a half-pound jar for only $2.75. Less fat, more flavor, more savings.
Give me a...
Carol Consomme.
Taste the savings. Love the flavor.
Available at 88 Shopping Center, Publix Supermarket, TJ Supermarket, Ming Superstore, Sugar City Supermarket, and you can also find it at your favorite supermarkets near.
At The Oasis, we believe in the art of celebration. Our exquisite range of wines adds a touch of elegance to every celebration. Elevate your sports night with the finest spirits from The Oasis. Savor the victory with every sip. Love, laughter, and the perfect blend. Whether it's a romantic evening or a casual get-together, our spirits set the mood. The Oasis is your destination for all occasions. Visit us today and discover a world of taste, quality, and elegance. The Oasis, where every bottle tells a story.
Boy, James, why you do with so much receipt? That's where that...
That's where what? What you mean that's where this? Kimberly, you'd hear yourself. I make sure I get my receipt, even if I leave it, I think could be a shilling chip. I want to make sure my tax dollars to go up and they're supposed to go. Nobody know why they overcharge me right now.
Why we even have to pay tax?
Listen to me. I want you to understand something. Make I put down my receipt. Taxes and the economy that like a bike. Taxes that the wheels from this bike will help pay for education, for make streets, for the housing projects, for even we salaries and even the development of the country. So we have to keep this bike the move because it carries everybody around.
The Belize Tax Service Department would like to remind you to always ask for a tax receipt with every purchase. Let us all do our part to ensure the further growth of Belize. Together we build our country, your contribution, our development.
Over and over, there have been calls for improvements to the port and to an end to hostilities between the port operator and the stevedores, for a modernization plan to enhance efficiency for importers, exporters and consumers, and for the port to become a logistics hub that enhances the country's competitiveness. This administration heard the call, heeded the call, and is today acting to answer the call. After careful consideration and negotiations, with the approval of the Cabinet and with the support of this Honorable House, the government of Belize will reacquire for the people of Belize the commercial port of Belize City.
My name is Vanna Pitio. I have been a social worker for the past 10 years. I was at the Ministry of Human Development as a child protection officer, and I wanted something different. I wanted to work with another vulnerable group. Given the opportunity to work with persons who were diagnosed with HIV was something completely different. I have never worked directly with persons who were diagnosed, so I wanted to better understand what HIV was, but moreover, I wanted to understand stigma and discrimination. So being able to understand how this affects persons who have been diagnosed with HIV was a plus for me. I have changed both professionally and personally. Why? Because understanding HIV and how HIV works shaped my life, my personal life. Understanding, the stigma, the discrimination behind HIV, how family treats them, how the community treats them, that have really changed my train of thought. It makes me want to advocate more and to see how family can help support them, which was very, very important. We do a lot of educations in school to speak about stigma and discrimination. When I got here 5 years ago, I had patients that would never have disclosed their status to anyone. And now, having them say, yes, miss, I am ready for treatment now. They don't understand what HIV is. They're more open-minded, in allowing people to come in and support them. I am key because I am able to provide free confidential HIV testing to my community. My community is key because we can all be agents of change. In that light, we can finally put an end to stigma and discrimination.
Belize's location is responsible for the amazing biodiversity that we find here, including quite a few endemic species that are found nowhere else in the world.
In fact, 60% of our country still remains forested. It's part of our history, it's part of our heritage, it's part of our culture.
Business has to be a long-term thing, and it has to feed into the environment. So we truly believe that without a strong country, you can never have a strong company.
This is going to be a good night for croc catchers.
The Statistical Institute of Belize held its final press conference for 2023 this morning here in Belize City. There's a lot that was shared in respect of Belize's economic performance over the last quarter, including the GDP for the third quarter. The gross domestic product for the period July to September stood a little over $1 billion, 3.3% up from the same period last year. Here is SIB's Christopher Halse with a breakdown of those figures.
So for July to September of 2023, goods and services produced totaled $1.19 billion, an increase of $40 million or 3.4% when we compare that to the third quarter of 2022. The primary drivers for this economic growth were in the tertiary sector, and then from the secondary sector, we saw an increase in construction. At the bottom, it's always nice to observe patterns and trends. So we're looking at from the first quarter of 2018 to the third quarter of 2023. This is our growth rate for GDP. And aside from 2020, you would note that there is a certain seasonality to the growth rates throughout the quarters, and third quarter is where we usually see the dip, matching with the off seasons for agriculture. Looking at how that 1.19 billion is being shared across the three sectors and taxes, we look at primary, which is approximately 5% of the GDP. That is $65.2 million out of the 1.19 billion. Then secondary is about 14%, which is 164.3 million out of the 1.19 billion. And then tertiary, basically 2/3 of the economy right now, $784.7 million out of the 1.19 billion is accounted from tertiary. And then we have taxes contributing $185.6 million, and that is about 15%. So this is just how that 1.19 billion is shared across the sectors.
The Consumer Price Index, as shared by the Statistical Institute of Belize, also records an increase in the cost of basic goods. The cumulative inflation rate for the first 10 months in 2023, when compared to the same period in 2022, stood at 4.5%. The cost of food and non-alcoholic beverages has skyrocketed to 12.9%, while the cost of transportation and housing have gone down by 1.8% and 0.5% respectively.
Now looking at our period of interest, the cumulative inflation rate for the first 10 months in the year of 2023 when compared to the same period of the year of 2022 stood at 4.5%. This means that overall, the average cost of regular purchase goods and services increased by 4.5%. Right, so now looking at the national monthly inflation rate for the past 4 years, the inflation rate for October of 2023 was virtually unchanged from the previous month, which saw an uptick in inflation following several consecutive months of deceleration at the rate at which prices was rising since the pandemic in the year of 2020. All right, so before we look at the major categories now affecting the cumulative inflation rate of 4.5%, let's first look at the National Consumer Price Index, which summarizes the categories of goods and services for the past 5 years, with our main emphasis being the first 10 months in the year of 2023. We can observe how prices overall increased from January to March, whereas from March to April, we saw prices decreasing as lower food and LPG was recorded for that period.
As of next Monday, you will need to pay $2.50 for each loaf of 16-ounce sliced bread. That's because bakers have decided to raise the price of the stapled product. The news came last week via a press release from the Bakers Association. And even though there is price control on sliced bread, the price is going to increase. The government is looking at options it can introduce to ease the huge increase. And today, Prime Minister John Bersenio explained to reporters that the government is trying to see what it can do towards that end.
The price of everything has gone up. The price of lard has gone up. The price of wheat or flour has gone up considerably. And we are doing everything possible to hold on the cost of living. You all love to accuse us that we are not doing anything when we're trying to do our best. A loaf of bread, a bimbo bread in Chetamal is about $3.54. So, but here we are struggling and doing our best. I need to remind you that our government in many instances have been, with the little resources that have been providing some sort of subsidies At one time we gave it to the boss, we gave it to the bread people. Now again they're coming again, and we're trying to see what we can do. We are doing everything possible to hold on the cost of living in this country.
Word spread earlier this week that the food rations provided to the soldiers of the Belize Defense Force have been cut and that fresh meats, namely chicken and fish, have been replaced with canned sausages. But when we met with Prime Minister John Briceño and Minister of Defense Florencio Marin Jr. today, they said there's no truth to any cuts, just adjustments to the soldiers' diet, based on the advice of a newly hired nutritionist. And while the officials explained the rationale behind the shift in the food ration, BDF Commandant Brigadier General Azaria Loria said the budget in the food rations for the BDF has actually gone up.
The truth of the matter is that it is a nutritionist that came here and looked at the food that they're eating, and we have a serious problem of diabetes, a serious problem of hypertension and overweight because of the food that we eat. So what they have done now is that they have come up with a more wholesome food, a more healthy food for the BDF. So it's not a matter of volume, but it's a matter of eating healthy, and that's exactly that. You never take fresh chicken when you're out on the field. You can't, unless if you're going walking around with a freezer. What you do, you have to take canned food, and that is what the canned food is done for the field, and then the fresh chicken well is when you're on camp.
It is nothing out of the ordinary, no? We're not trying to starve the soldiers. I think even you guys know that under the leadership of Minister Mira and I, we're not here to play games with our soldiers. We've been there. We know what it is. But like everything that is modern, obesity is beginning to be an issue. Diabetes is becoming an issue. As a representative, I encounter a lot of that in my area. We're now encountering it in the military. So what we have done is now to hire a nutritionist to give us a tailor-made array of food to be able to help combat this obesity and diabetes that is now affecting us.
But the budget hasn't been cut?
Well, nobody informed me of that. I know that I know of. No? I mean, I know that every year what the military has requested, we have provided. So I don't really know your source on that. The changes mostly is at least on the camp. Because on the field, well, no, we have to ensure that they get much more calories in, because then they're really working double, triple time. They're burning like some of these guys on a patrol. They burn like about 5,000 calories a day. So there's no shortage.
So because they're saying that they're getting tin foods like tin sausage and whatnot.
Yeah, that's how we serve them. That is nothing new, no? We serve them all that we can get available in Belize, right? But as well, too, one of the things we have done is that we're also looking at the brands to try to have a variety. Because, after a while, and this is experience talking, after a while, you're out there for like 10, 14 days, you're kind of wawali mix. So we're also looking at trying to do a change in some of the brands that will at least bring a little bit of comfort.
In my days, the rush and the quantity or the money used to be like $5 per day per soldier times 365 days per year. Then it went up to 6, then it went up to 9, and then to 13. In the last 3-4 years, it went to $13. So for the soldier to consume their rations here for 365 days. But it's obvious that the soldier will not be here with us for 365 days. The soldier goes on their stand down, that is 5 days off, going to leave. So if you look at it, it's a bit more than $13 that they're getting.
After the break, what is Crime Stoppers' role in solving crime? But first, here's a weather update with data from the Belize Met Service.
Your Belize City Council, in collaboration with Honorable Kareem Musa and the Caribbean Shores Committee, invites you to the second annual Holiday Night Festival. Join us for an enchanting evening of Christmas cheer this Friday, December 15 at the beautiful Buttonwood Bay Park. Discover the perfect Christmas presents as you explore our vibrant marketplace. Enjoy live entertainment, food, drinks, and a kid zone, including a free hot chocolate bar and much more. So, save the date, Friday, December 15 at the Buttonwood Bay Park from 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. Bring the entire family as we celebrate the joy of the season. Your Belize City Council, always about the people.
Unwrap the joy of crystal clear picture and sound from Iowa, the brand that offers you affordability and exceptional quality. Iowa has a wide range of exceptional products to choose from, such as TVs, speakers, headphones, home appliances, and much more at affordable prices that won't break the bank. Enhance your audio-visual entertainment experience with Iowa, and for your convenience, parts are readily available in country for hassle-free maintenance. You can find Iowa products at your local electronics store countrywide. This Christmas, choose Iowa, the best in home entertainment and household appliances. Distributed by Nando's Wholesale.
The most cherished gifts aren't always nestled beneath the tree. Provide financial security and peace of mind to your loved ones this Christmas with the gift of a life insurance policy. Contact our office today to explore the optimal life protection plan for you.
This Christmas, gift rum popo in recycled glass bottles.
I hope you wash that bottle good.
For your next Christmas party, use silverware.
Always carry your reusable bag.
And be sure to use it.
Gift homemade presents this Christmas.
Make plastic-free family resolutions this new year.
Buy your vegetables loose and fresh.
Why, Brick? Make sure you buy soft drink in a pint, you know.
Yes, girl, sugar. In nicer and a cola.
Ditch plastic straws this holiday season and either use metal, bamboo, or paper straws.
This Christmas, get creative and make some of your Christmas ornaments at home.
Hey, wrap it up, guys. When you forgot a studio of a wrap.
Yes, I.
Get creative with wrapping this Christmas.
Pack your Christmas leftover dinner in a reusable container.
Cheers! And not forget your reusable cup.
The deals continue this X-massive season. Starting December 11th until December 23rd, it's 12 straight days of massive deals with up to 25% off on selected items each day. From lights and fans to appliances and more, you get a new opportunity to take advantage of a new item on sale. Check out our website and social media platforms for updates every day. Deals, V-Bucks, rewards, everything is massive this season at Benny's. Quality and savings.
Violence against women begins in childhood. In cultures across the Caribbean, as elsewhere in the world, girls and boys in numerous ways are treated differently from the moment they're born. In adolescence, this gender divide increases significantly. Adolescent girls and boys in all their diversities begin to interact with the world in new ways, taking chances, learning skills, and experiencing unfamiliar emotions. They search for ways to stand out and belong, to find their place in society and make a difference in their world. It is during this time that girls are more likely to experience violence from people they know, family members, intimate and dating partners. In fact, high rates of intimate partner violence reported by adolescent girls are consistent with global estimates based on research on violence against women and girls. Up to 1/3 of adolescent girls have experienced forced sex. These estimates don't show the whole picture because no one wants to report it. This is shocking. The negative consequences of violence against adolescent girls are well documented and extend throughout a girl's lifetime. Such violence is committed against girls specifically because they are female and can take many forms. It distorts family life and the fabric of society with consequences that cross generations. But the cycle can be broken. Adolescence is a unique time for the prevention of family violence. Girls themselves are part of the solution, but they can't do it alone. There's still work to be done in our homes, communities, schools, and with our leaders to make sure that women and girls live free from violence and can take full advantage of their rights. Play your part.
While the crime rate for Belize has generally increased from year to year, with only about a couple weeks left in 2023, the Belize Police Department is anticipating that there would have been a reduction of major crimes when compared to 2022. But while the police efforts play a major part in deterring crime, how it solves these offenses is also important. A key part of that process is the responsibility of Crime Stoppers Belize, which has garnered the confidence of witnesses of crimes to use the service more and more over the 20 years that it has been in existence. But how does the service work? Who can use the Crime Stoppers medium? How confidential is it? And what is its success rate? These are some of the questions that will be answered in this week's edition of our 5-Point Breakdown. Here's News 5's Marian Ali.
The murder of Albert Valentine in broad daylight on Tuesday and that of William Watson less than 2 weeks ago are only two cases for which authorities need the public's help in solving crimes. Since its inception in 2003, the Crime Stoppers platform has gained steady popularity among Belizeans. But for those who still have questions about how the service works, here's how.
Crime Stoppers is an international, not-for-profit organization that helps or aids the local law enforcement agencies to solve or prevent crime in the community. And we do that by providing a service to the community where they can submit their information regarding any crimes or criminals through an anonymous service that we have.
There are two platforms that individuals with information about a crime can use to share that information confidentially. Founding member of Crime Stoppers Belize, Lauren Reardon Smith, says that aside from the tip line, there's also an app that can be used to safely share crime information.
The anonymous service has been increased to not just a telephone, which is the 922 line. We still have the 922 line, but now we have the P3 Tips app, which is an internationally designed app that is found either on the Apple or on the Google Play. In the case of calling, it's an international call center in the US that answers the phone, and you give as much detail as possible to that call center. Once that call is completed, then that's sent to our police coordinator here in Belize. So the P3 Tip app is an app that you download, and the first thing that you have to do is enter a private password. The private password is your personal, so even if someone grabs your phone, they can't get into the app because it's locked with a passcode. And there you enter your details, like where you're from, whether you're in Belize, El Salvador, wherever you are, wherever the crime took place is where you enter that information. So it's not limited to Belize. It's a global crime preventing app.
Okay.
And so you enter your information, and it asks you a list of questions. You answer those questions, and then you submit it.
The information that is received is forwarded to the relevant agencies that deal with those offenses. Sometimes it can also involve the Customs Department for contraband items and the Immigration Department for illegal entry and human trafficking offenses. And for the information that you share, Crime Stoppers offers cash rewards to persons who request it. The only requirement is that the information you share has to result in the arrest and charge of those responsible for the offense reported.
We also offer cash rewards for any information that led to an arrest and charge. And our cash rewards go from $100 to $2,000 depending on the seriousness of the crime. If the crime results in an arrest because it has enough information that the police can follow up on it, or it gives enough clues, then the case then merits a reward, and then you call back for your information, and then from there you're given the information of when and how you can receive your reward.
One of the assurances that using the Crime Stoppers tip line or the app provides to informants is confidentiality. Former Chief Magistrate Sharon Fraser has been a board member of Crime Stoppers for almost 2 decades. She says that the organization has helped in situations where witnesses simply don't trust using the police for whatever reason.
Once the information comes in, then the police can act upon it without putting anybody's life in jeopardy. So it's really why this is important, why it must be out there, why people must use the service, because they don't have to worry that nobody is going to come for them or come for their families. Even the coordinator would know, because they're operating based on codes that are given and whatever. So persons aren't giving their names. I don't know of any instances where persons have given a tip and in fact it has come out who those persons are. The truth is, even though I sit on the board, I don't even know who are the persons who.
Is it even possible since you're operating by codes?
No, it's not.
According to Crime Stoppers coordinator Harold Greenidge, the statistics show there's been significant increase in the use of the service.
Our yearly statistics as of January 1st, 2022 to December 31st, 2022, we received a total of 198 tips. From those, we received 45 successful tips. We did a total of 162 posters. Our yearly statistics for 2023, from January 1st, 2023 to December 12th, 2023, a total of 175 tips were received, and 37 of those were successful. When the program first started, we had less than 40 tips per year. Since we've built a trust relationship with the community, we've been raised to more than 200 tips per year at present.
Greenidge appeals to eyewitnesses to help solve the recent crimes they know about, including the escape of a prisoner.
Of recent, we had an escapee, Wildebrand Cad, who had escaped from police officers in Belize City from the Supreme Court. I'd like to ask the general public if you have any information on his whereabouts. You could always call 922 or use the P3 app and give information. Also, there was a recent murder on Iguana Street, Belize City. Albert Valentine was murdered. If you have any information pertaining to that, you can also call in. And there's a recent missing person by the name of Jeremy Westby, 18 years old. He's been missing for almost a week now, and his mother and his family members would like some information or some kind of closure.
If you would like to donate to the efforts of Crime Stoppers, you can call 600-3563 or visit its website at crimestoppersbelize.org. Reporting for News 5, I'm Marion Ali.
When we return, port receivership shows profit of between 12 and 13 million.
Over and over, there have been calls for improvements to the port and to an end to hostilities between the port operator and the stevedores, for a modernization plan to enhance efficiency for importers, exporters, and consumers, and for the port to become a logistics hub that enhances the country's competitiveness. This administration heard the call, heeded the call, and is today acting to answer the call. After careful consideration and negotiations, with the approval of the Cabinet and with the support of this Honorable House, the government of Belize will reacquire for the people of Belize the commercial port of Belize City.
Belize Electricity Limited encourages you to enjoy this holiday season by following these safety and energy conservation tips. Inspect each holiday light string for rusted light sockets, cords, and plugs for damages. If you notice any damages, throw away the strings of lights. Consider using LED lights. They remain cool, are more durable, and consume less energy. Use only extension cords certified by Underwriters Laboratories UL for safety. Distribute light strands among multiple extension cords and use power strips. This prevents circuit overload that would otherwise overheat and potentially start a fire. Remember, even when switched off, your decor still consumes small amounts of electricity. So curb the waste by plugging all decorations into power strips and turn off lights when not in use. Finally, when decorating outdoors, always look up and keep ladders away from overhead power lines.
Belize Electricity Limited wishes you a safe and happy holiday season.
I'm connected. Yo.
I'm connected.
We're connected.
Create the perfect broadband bundle that fits your style with Smart Connect. With the Junior Bundle, get 50% off your national calls and up to 6 gigabytes of data at no extra cost. Get postpaid added for an additional cost of only $25 with the Prime Bundle. Stay connected with unlimited smart-to-smart calls plus 6,300 megabytes of data and free international minutes. For the family, pay $28.13 more and get the Binge Watchers bundle with Netflix. This bundle gives you 4 profiles with unlimited streaming on multiple devices. Visit a showroom near you to sign up and personalize your own bundle combination with Smart Connect. Smart, bringing people together.
The acquisition of the Port of Belize by the government and the Settlement Deeds Bill seeks authorization to purchase the port along with 600 acres of adjoining lands. Along with that is the appropriation of US $15.3 million to resolve long outstanding judgment awards and the withdrawal of all Ashcroft claims and cases against government. Today, Prime Minister John Briceño said the negotiations were not an overnight event, and the figures show the receivership has been earning a profit of between $12 and $13 million each year.
This was a 60-day negotiation, so it was not an overnight. It was a long, arduous negotiations, and I must commend both sides, both the Ashcroft Alliance or the consortium and government, that our negotiators that wanted to find a solution to the issue of the port. And a part of the negotiations were that they had to provide their financials that they have had before. Now these are unaudited financials, but based on the financials that have been presented to us, they've shown that they've been making an income between $12 and $13 million. I have not seen it, but this is a report that I've been given.
The stevedores, they're asking for their ESAT money from the ESAT ruling on the redundancy of sugar.
4.9 million.
Yeah, well, that is, again, we have appointed a new board, an interim board, and I met with the chairman yesterday, the interim chairman, Dr. Gilly Canton, somebody that's well known and very respectable person, along with Mr. Tox Vasquez, who is the interim CEO. We chose Mr. Vasquez simply because he was there for several years. So we need somebody that knows what's going on there. We don't have to go through that learning curve. And so the idea is that then they are going to be addressing all of these issues.
And while the Briceño administration acquires the Port of Belize and restores it to Belizean ownership, today Prime Minister Briceño held a meeting with representatives of the Belize Sugarcane Farmers Association. We know that there is still a standoff between the association and the Belize sugar industries amid failure to sign a commercial agreement. Today, the PM shed light onto what came out as of the meeting.
BSCFA did is that they now hired Senior Counsel Magali Marin to be able to look at the issues of fair trade. You know, that has been an ongoing concern between the BSCFA and BSI. What Senior Counsel Marin did was to go through the different agreements and the regulations and to point out where they have been, where they believe that BSI has not been following up or living up to the agreement that they signed. So the idea is now we've asked Senior Counsel to prepare a letter to the Cabinet Subcommittee, along with a presentation clearly pointing out where they believe that BSI has been not living up to the conditions for the payment of fair trade. We're going to send it over to Mark. We hope to get it by Friday. And early next week, the expectation is that then the Cabinet Subcommittee is going to have a meeting with Mark and his officials to discuss it. I am hoping that by addressing that issue, then maybe we can be able to get maybe a 2-year or maybe a 3-year commercial agreement to allow us as a government to give time to have the Commission of Inquiry. The Commission of Inquiry is going to take us probably at least a year. But once we get that report, then we need to be able to study it and to see what can be applicable. How is it that we can improve the yields in our cane fields? How we can reduce the cost of delivery to BSI, to the factory? How BSI could improve its efficiencies, and also the delivery of the sugar from BSI onto the ship for it to be. We need to take a comprehensive look, at what's going on and how we can improve efficiencies, and at the end of the day, that everybody can make more money.
Okay, but that fair trade issue is not what's holding up the signing of the commercial agreement, right? They want to ensure they're getting a fair price for their cane.
Well, fair trade is only one part. That is why the idea is that if we could settle that, we could sign an interim agreement for 3 years. And then that will then be able to allow for everybody to look at the facts, look at the evidence that we can get from the Commission of Inquiry, and then from there decide what can be changed, what we can do to be able to improve, to make it better for everyone. It's not a matter of that taking away from the farmers or taking away from BSI, but how is it that we can improve our efficiencies and how we can improve the revenues for everybody.
The shortage of sugar on supermarket shelves has been another issue that the government is trying to resolve. The report is that distributors have been selling the sugar across the borders to businesses that pay more for the product. That is an illegal act unless those distributors have a permit to do so. So now these individuals may suffer losses if they are caught. Today, Prime Minister Briceño said that BDF soldiers will be asked to monitor the borders and to confiscate sugar going across the borders illegally.
Well, the sugar industry is subsidizing the price of sugar in Belize. And the price of sugar is 3 times more expensive in Chetumal or in Guatemala, at least 3 times, sometimes in some instances even more. So you have unscrupulous business people that they buy the sugar from BSI and they're supposed to retail it to the different stores. But what they do, they turn around and then they smuggle it into Guatemala and to Mexico. What we decided in Cabinet is that we've asked the BDF to help us to monitor the border 24/7 along with Baja. And anybody that's seen to be exporting sugar, we're going to confiscate that, and then also obviously we're going to levy fines on them.
Belmopan Mayor Sharon Palacio went on record recently to criticize the Prime Minister, calling him racist and misogynistic. The criticism came in the midst of an ongoing internal rift between Palacio and the Belmopan City Council, which then led to her and the hierarchy of the People's United Party. But today, the PM did not respond unkindly to Palacio's comment. In fact, he said she is entitled to her views and that his government has assisted the Belmopan City Council and other councils that have had challenges.
She's entitled to her opinion. I think what is important, and I think she missed the point that I was making. I was not speaking about her directly. I was talking that is an embarrassment how the whole behavior of the council, how they've been behaving back and forth. These are things that should be dealt with internally. And so I want to leave it as that. The other day, we had to bail out the Belize City Council. They were short of $100,000. They could not pay their salaries, and central government paid them. Central government has been helping in paving streets in Belmopan. We have harmony with all our councils. Doesn't mean that we will agree with everything, like in every family. if you disagree with a member of a family, doesn't mean that hate one another. That happens in every family.
The United Democratic Party has come out in full support of the preservation of the territorial integrity and sovereignty of Guyana. The UDP stands with CARICOM, the Commonwealth of Nations, as well as the Organization of American States, in calling for Venezuela to respect international law and abide by the 1899 Arbitral Award, the 1966 Geneva Agreement, the 2018 decision of the United Nations Secretary General, as well as the December 1st, 2023 decision of the International Court of Justice, so as to maintain peace and stability in the region. Opposition leader Shine Barrow shares the position of his party.
The International Democratic Union and the CDU, the Caribbean Democratic Union, we issued a statement on Thursday. I believe I shared it with you because we had the International Democratic Union meeting of global leaders in Washington, D.C. last week. And at the close of the meeting, the executive met and issued a statement. But again, it is very disturbing, very troubling that Nicolas Maduro and the Venezuelan government have totally dismissed the procedures of the International Court of Justice, which they agreed to. For Belizeans who may not understand the history of Venezuela's claim to 2/3 of Guyana's land, President Maduro and his government called for a referendum that totally rejected the agreement that they entered in with Venezuela and Guyana in 1966, and said that the ICJ has no jurisdiction and they reject whatever the ICJ has to say. That is a terrible act that would only threaten peace and stability in the region.
Up next, Prime Minister serves BDF soldiers lunch.
When I was 18, I was outed as a gay man. I did not have the opportunity to come out and have this opportunity to share with my family that I was gay. It was a hurtful process. Being in a space where I am confronted with what my family would say would be my destiny as a gay man, growing up with my friends being infected with HIV and having challenges to access healthcare, and myself being also exposed to HIV really was something that was life-changing, and it was pivotal to where I am doing AIDS advocacy. We created an organization, Belize Youth Empowerment for Change, which was a youth-led and a youth-oriented organization. We were able to connect with other LGBTI youth, and being able to advocate for our sexual and reproductive health. I always thought, what is the organization that I could best find myself that really fits the work that I do? And presently today, I am collaborating with the National AIDS Commission. I am also a TV host. But if we think about the taboos that surround HIV, being in national television allows me to be able to clarify those misconceptions, clarify those myths, and again, create a safe space. Creating a safe space is very important for persons to come to the health system, for persons to be comfortable saying, hey, I am HIV positive and I need treatment. And this is where, as we celebrate World AIDS Day, it's very important to take into mind that it takes communities to lead the movement. It takes really communities to be the change makers. I am key to this movement where my end goal is to being able to create a sense of safety for young persons and for persons in general. And for me, it's a win to being able to hear, hey, I was able to access PrEP. I was able to access HIV treatment. My viral load is undetectable. It's all a big win for me. And it's equally important to let communities lead, because communities are the ones that are aware of the challenges, that are aware of the needs, and who best to advocate for the needs of our community than the persons who are living the reality themselves.
Get between Belize City, Key Cocker, and San Pedro on a ferry faster than anyone else with Caribbean Sprinter. You better Belize it. Get with us online at sprinter.bz.
Apply now for an undergraduate degree in animation, film or journalism at the Caribbean School of Media and Communication at the University of the West Indies, Mona. For more information, visit www.mona.uwi.edu/apply.
Yes, I give her 50 times ending, now me have to pay.
Where you going, bruh? The who they stress you out again, Namule?
Boy, I don't want to believe I the fool again.
Again?
But I mess up this time for real, You really want to know?
Yes. I want, yeah.
Can't make it a big deal.
We know what that.
I know how you going now.
Oh, man.
You really want to know?
Yeah?
Take my plan, and I give her. I take my plan and put it in a name.
In a name? Wait, so tell me something. You still pay for this plan?
Yeah. But hear this. This plan, I can't left this plan. Smart believes. This plan, I can't left this plan, yeah. This plan, I can't left this plan. Postpaid plan. This plan, I can't left this plan. Smart believes, it's unlimited data. Smart choice plan can light up your day. Postpaid with eSIM, make everything better. Just visit Smart showrooms today. Boom! I can't left this plan. I can't left this plan. Can't left this plan. I can't left this plan. Affordable for everyone. I can't left this plan. The postpaid plan, cause the data really strong.
You know why? Listen, for the best post and prepaid. You know that Smart got you back.
My bad. Ram commercial. She could left me for another man. The truth, once I have my plan, once I have my Smart Plus plan, I no worry cause the data strong. I know when the bleed, cause that's all I need. And you could tell me where you are, but I know I left this plan. Smart have the best services. We post your plan have everything, so you could talk and text unlimited. Come set up your group, we got share plan 1 and 2. Up to 10 friends can connect anywhere. Boom! I can't left this plan. I can't left this plan. The postpaid plan, cause the data really strong. Don't dig it down, 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 don't dig it. Smart, bringing people together.
The annual serving of Christmas lunch by the Prime Minister and Minister of Defense to the rank and file of the Belize Defense Force has been in place for decades now. Today, that courtesy was extended to the soldiers at the BDF. Hangar and News 5 was on hand to capture the moment. It's the third year that Prime Minister John Briceño has been invited to do the honors. And today, he and the Minister of Defense, Florencio Marin Jr., and BDF Commandant Azaria Loria spoke about the symbolism of the gesture.
To me, I think it's just a small gesture of us showing the appreciation of the work of the BDF, because many times we don't think about the work that they do. And they're not only protecting us from the border, but they're protecting us against drug trafficking, destroying drugs that they find out in the jungle. They do so many things in the city. Whenever there's a flare-up, amongst rival groups, they would also walk along with the police to try to be able to create some peace. So, when Brigadier General Loria then asked if I would be prepared to come, well 3 years ago when I was first asked, I said, of course, I could find some time to be here and to serve them. And I find great satisfaction in doing that.
They're the ones out there in the field. They're the ones doing all the hard work. Whilst we're just the ones who give the directives. So the least we can do is just to show our appreciation to them annually.
It's a pleasure for me to serve at least for one day my NCOs and my subordinates for the year. So we are elated to have the leadership of the country here today as well with us, helping the BDF and the officers to serve the soldiers for what they have done through the course of the year.
A donation of Chromebooks was handed over to a group of visually impaired students through the Office of the Special Envoy for Women and Children. The donation of digital devices was made possible through the efforts of Customer HD, a growing company in the local business process outsourcing sector. Disability Desk Coordinator Marshall Nunez was present at this morning's handing over.
The Chromebooks were made available to us as a kind gift from the government and people of Taiwan through the Prime Minister, which means through the Special Envoy. And please appreciate that only I have the full authority to refer to her as the First Lady of the country. And then the good people at Customer HD, they have collaborated and partner with the Special Envoy, First Lady, and to add some IT specialists to the Chromebook to make them accessible and usable to persons with disability. I just want to say to you that in Belize, we're making advancement to protect the dignity and rights of persons who are living with disabilities. We aim to promote participation, inclusion, non-discrimination, and empowerment of persons who are living with disability. And these recipients of this Chromebook today, it's a perfect example of how we are empowering them. These assistive devices, which will also come compact with accessible technology, will contribute to making their lives far more meaningful and to have them participate and be equal to even those who are their peers in the conventional school system.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at channel5belize.com, on our Facebook and on YouTube. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us. And from all of us here at News 5, good night.